Guys, it's a short stream this week. Basically, they only revealed 2 units, but they're actually pretty good units for Dark States. They're for Greedon, but you know, Greedon used to be the people we don't care about, but now, you know, he's a pretty cool looking guy, right? Everyone kind of likes him. You know, 7 damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, this is actually some pretty good support for Greedon and kind of like other Dark State support minus Bruce. So we're basically talking about Baro, right? So here we have Desire Devil Cannon. Auto when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle during our main phase, so not called during the battle phase, and too bad. Counterblast 1, look at the top card of your deck and call it to the rearguard circle. At the end of that turn, retire that called unit. So it's not, you can't like, it's mandatory. So you can't just look at it and go, I don't want to use it. But this actually fulfills a big slot for Greedon where you always have that problem with the current Greedon build, especially on your first turn of wave 3, where you look at your hand and it's a bunch of garbage, and you go, what am I gonna do with this, right? It's just really trashy. And also with Greedon current advantage engines, they're either like 1 resource heavy, so I think they're like a Soul Blast 2 with Counterblast 1, or it's like Counterblast 2 or things like that. So it's not easy to get what you want. Now this Counterblast 1 is just fine, right? Counterblast 1 is great. It's the perfect cost. Makes a body on the field for you that you can suck in, so you don't really care about that retire at the end of turn. And just, you know, makes bodies. At least can help you make like the 5er rather than the 4 on the field, right? The 4 means you don't have a reguard attack, but with 5, bam, good times, right? There is demerit. He is 9k, but look, if you think about it, right, you just put in the back, right? Use it as a body to just as a suck-in body, right? Because, you know, 9k doesn't really hit anything, but okay, it makes it feels good enough. If you get hit a trigger off the top, it's hitting 14. Eh, it's not the best, but it's still a body that you can suck in. So this actually, I think this is really good for Greedon. It definitely gives it some more lets you probably can like transition out of draws at some point. But I still may be looking at some of the other cards. The other card that we see, maybe if the draws are still there. But this also works in Baro Magnus if you think about it, because you play it down, bam, makes another body on the field, and then you get, I mean, your Baro sucks things in, and it's fine. You don't care about the retire, but the possibility of getting a good card from the top is pretty good, right? I think on stream they're talking about Selfish Engraver. Yeah, great card. You get like I think Curtis, right? Yeah, pretty good. So there's a lot of good things that you can hit. CB1, you can hit like a Gunga Ram or like these other Soul Chargers can help you out. So yeah, it's not bad. It's actually not bad. Works pretty well. But then the second card we got is Desire Devil Bubetsu. So this is auto reguard circle once per turn. When your other reguard is put into your soul by your Vanguard's ability, during your turn, counterblast 1, choose a card from your hand, call it to the open reguard circle, and if your soul has 10 or more cards, draw a card. And then there's a reminder text saying, maybe used even if this unit is put to your soul at the same time as other units. So what this allows Greedon in standard to do is for CB1, which is, again, a great CB cost, it lets it get that extra attack after it sucks everything in. If you have, like, you think about it, right? Good times, you have 2 of these in the field, and then, yeah, you swing in with your stuff, you suck them in, then you CB1, like, twice, right? With 2 of these, and then you make 2 more attackers. And then you have 10 or more soul, quite likely you do. You draw a card for them, so you, technically no loss for you. So that is possibly 6 attacks, right? 6 attacks. That's pretty scary. When you think about it, that's pretty scary, especially when you're sucking in things like Gorman as well, right? Gorman before you're like, oh, okay, I'll suck it in, and my last 1 or 2 attack will have, you know, guard restrict, where you have to guard with 2 cards, and your opponent just laughs at your face and go, yeah, good use of CB1. But now you could CBX, right? You could CB a lot, and you have that threatening guard restrict set up for the entire turn. And that could be pretty good, right? That could be pretty good. You can also use it for Baro again, right? Pretty generic. You can make better columns of this card. But, you know, it's like Baro has access to Selfish Engraver, which is like the easiest CC in the game. So, you know, making a better column, you could do that. You could do that. But people have mentioned that you can use this for NLK as well in premium. CB1 is pretty heavy in premium, to be fair, right? CB1 in standard, not so much. It's okay, right? You know, damage is freely given. But CB1 in premium, that's a bit heavy, especially when you're standing NLK. The biggest difference between Greedon and NLK is NLK requires a counterblast 1, Greedon is a soul blast 2. So for that, for a Greedon turn, you can do like, with CB1 you can do this, right? With a CB2 you can do this and like a cannon before. But then like for NLK, you know, you have 2 damage, you can only do 1. That's okay. NLK and this, you know, sometimes you'll have 1 damage because your opponent is a bit smarter. Then you can't do this. This just becomes useless, and it doesn't even have good shield. So it's a bit suck, right? It's not that great. But there is the possibility for it there. I know people were tinkering with ideas of Greedon Premium, making more loopity loops, and this might help with that. This might help with that. We just need to put it in a clan with some good counter charge. But I mean, counter charge is a bit, for dark states at least, or dark zone. It's not as simple as it can be. So overall, I think these are some great additions. These are some great additions for Greedon, and I think get Baro, to be honest, but mainly Greedon in standard. Definitely helps out. Like the 2 biggest problems Greedon currently has. One is making bodies. Cannon solves that issue. Bubetsu solves the aggression issue, right? People, before you're like at best 3 attacks, now maybe multiple attacks. So getting the aggression on before, you didn't really have much of a hand issue because you just go, yeah, trigger draw, but now, bam, you have the aggression as well. So basically solving all your problems. That's it for me. I managed to talk 6.5 minutes about a bunch of junk. Let me know what you guys think about 2 cards, right? 2 cards. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.